Hello everyone, and welcome back to the new session on HRM. I'm just done fighting with my children to not make too much noise, so this one's on you guys. One of them went downstairs crying, and the other one still went down stomping. The third one continues to dance in their room and doesn't care about my authority. So even though I'm teaching you guys HRM, it probably doesn't matter that I don't practice it. But today we're doing training and development, and I've broken down the videos into several different parts, which makes it easier for you to watch because your attention span is that of a goldfish, 3 seconds at max. But I don't really care. You have to watch the video because I am not uploading the slides now because you guys don't really watch the videos and I make so much effort in, recording all of this. Anyways, don't worry. I will be also uploading your assignment, which will have a due date for, I think, around maybe 2 weeks or so, and you'll have one final major assignment. This time, the major assignment will not be as tough as the previous ones. Um, it's ironic that most of you did not show up in class. Otherwise, I would have made your groups, and therefore the second and third assignment would have been a group assignment. But it's unfortunate. There was miscommunication, but doesn't matter. Anyways, let's proceed forward. So we are going to do training and development. Understand that once your employees are part of the company or they're onboarding, they must be well trained to understand the culture and the rules and regulations of company. The purpose of this series is to increase your effectiveness as I wouldn't say a trainer, but as in a mentor for your employees. So we will cover topics such as orienting the employees, designing programs for onboarding or giving them welcome packages, also engaging with them and tell them how to engage back with the company as well, analyzing their training needs, implementing training and development programs, as well as all about evaluation of those training efforts. Now understand that employee orientation, induction, or onboarding, whatever you wish to call it, provides new employees with the basic background information they need to function, such as computer passwords and company rules. Ideally, though, it should also help new employees start getting emotionally attached to and engaged in the firm. Now, that doesn't mean if the boss retires, you start crying about it. That's not the emotional engagement I'm talking about. I'm talking about sentiment for the company and working with passion towards it. So, without further ado, let's move forward. Oh, yes, and I make a suggestion to all of you. If you find my English too fast, there is an option on YouTube. If you go into the gear icon, the settings, you can slow down my voice. It'll be pretty funky. You can speed it up too. That's even funnier. Anyways, moving ahead to the next slide. Now, we're going to start with part one. And in this part, we're going to tell you all the purpose and the process of employee orientation. I highly recommend even using Google to look up what type of orientation programs exist, such as in Google or Amazon or any other company. Doesn't have to be a big company. It could be any company that takes their time to design a welcoming program. And it's the same for even universities. When you join certain schools, they have orientation days where they get to tell you about the different types of subjects you can pick, the different type of majors you have, what's the process of signing up for courses or dropping a course. It's all part and package. It's the same thing. Every company needs to inform their employees or recruits how will they proceed forward in this company. Every home has their own rules. Every house has its own family structure and line of command or chain of command as you call it. And every house has an objective, or home has an objective, but just like a company, their objective could be to make more profit, to overcome competition, and therefore they require the right skills and mindset, and they have to prep you for it. Now, when we come to the part about orientation and of new employees, we can also take into consideration even old employees when we're changing a process, or we have introduced a new sort of system, we introduce a new department, anything. Okay, so carefully selecting employees doesn't guarantee they'll perform effectively. That is the truth. Even high potential employees can't do their jobs if they don't know what to do or how to do it. So you have to make sure your employees know what to do and how to do it. And that is the whole purpose of the orientation. What are my objectives and what am I going to achieve if I take on these objectives and these processes? So the HR department usually designs these orientation and training programs, but along with the manager of the department or the supervisor, they do most of the day-to-day orienting and training. So they're involved, highly involved in this. So every manager, therefore, should know how to orient and train their employees. Anyways, moving ahead. And again, defining employee orientation or onboarding as a procedure for providing new employees with basic background information about the firm, it's very necessary. The whole point is there's a step-by-step process. Even though we are humans, we need to be aligned with the process. The purpose the manager wants to accomplish are the four things that are written over here, such as we have to make sure they feel welcome at home. And as I mentioned before, your company is like your home, and your employees are a bit like your family. There can be certain instances you don't want to treat them like your family, but remember, at the end of the day, we have to trust each other, okay? And with this trust, we develop these processes to encourage engagement, which will foster trust. The next thing is also we make sure the new employees have the basic information to function effectively, such as having computers and email access, and have access to the intranet where they can download policies and all those things, and maybe even, let's say, benefits such as getting a restaurant tickets or badges and so on and so forth, and even such as expectations such as work behavior, when to come on time, if you need a security badge to enter the building, when is lunchtime, and what sort of phone you will get, and if you get a company phone, how to use it, etc., etc. Also, we have to help the new employees understand the company in a broad sense, such as what is the culture of the company, what is the value systems, and of course, what are the ways to do things in your company? Now, I remember a very poor method of, I would say, introducing the company to me. It happened here in France when I started my digital marketing career, which was the last of my corporate culture career. I opened up a new window for a browser by using a shortcut key control, just press Control and T, and it opens up a new window. My manager was much more older than me, and he got upset. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm opening a new window, as you said, open a new window." I did it. He said, "No." He minimized my browser. He used the mouse to double click on the browser to open a new window and said, "This is how we do it." I gave him those looks. And that look, if you could memify it, it would be, "Are you serious?" The sort of look. And everyone around me in my department, the people who saw this, just shook their heads. It's like, what is wrong with my manager? And he was a micromanager. Now, I don't mean to insult him, but this was not fostering any sort of engagement with me. I became hesitant to even talk to him about anything else. I said, "You cannot be more serious. You're asking me to do such a thing, and you're scolding me in front of everyone for something so trivial." And of course, guess what happened after 3 months? I did not want to continue over there. I didn't leave my country so I could come to a better country and work in a place where stress was the process of orientation. I said, "No, thank you. I like to take on work. I like challenging goals. However, stress for unknown and I would say trivial reasons is not why I'm there." So, which leads us to the point of socializing. My manager also said something very weird. He sat me down because I had a habit of speaking to the people in the database department and then security department. We got along. Sometimes we would have lunch together, and they were really awesome guys, especially the security guy. I really liked him. The network security. He was Romanian, named Radu. Really excellent guy, very open-hearted. There's no holds barred. Sometimes you want to socialize with the other people, and he said, "No, you're not allowed to socialize with them." I said, "What are you, my mother?" Well, in a way, he was acting weird because he felt that we would leak secrets to them. I said, "That's impossible. We are part of the same team. And what do you mean by secrets? I don't understand all of these things." So this is a poor method of socialization, and you can see companies like this don't really grow bigger. They end up, being dissolved in company politics. Anyways, moving ahead, the orientation process. Okay, the length of the orientation program depends on what you cover. Most take maybe several hours, or they can even take a few days. It depends on the nature of the job as well. So the HR specialist, or maybe in a smaller company, the office manager, they perform the first part of the orientation by explaining basic matters like working hours and benefits. Then the supervisor continues the orientation by explaining the department's organization, how they're organized, how they do work, introducing each and every person in that department and also to their other colleagues from various departments, familiarizing people with the workplace, and also reducing what we call first day anxiety, the jitters. Ooh, I'm scared. I don't know who these people are. So during the orientation, the employee handbook, or we can even use technologies, or technology must be used, such as having videos to tell you about how to, I would say, log into your system, where you can find the nearest, what do you call it, restaurant, or how you have to deposit things for printing, all of those things. They usually have a handbook for that, how to deposit all your relevant documents once you're hired to the HR. That is also written there, and maybe other rules and regulations. So the employee handbook, this is a little bit related to the American law. So the courts may find that employees' handbooks content are legally binding commitments. The handbook should include proper disclaimers, such as nothing in this handbook should be taken as creating a binding agreement or contract between the employer and employees. They could be stated as guidelines. So we have to be careful because all employment is on at will basis, okay? Meaning I choose to be here, and if there's enforcement of something that could be, I would say, illegal, then the employer has a bad, and it can also create a situation of duress working in those sort of companies. So, orientation technology would be employees use technology support orientations such as videos, or I wouldn't just say videos, they're like using intranet and how to log into the internet, even having a messaging service. The old MSN Messenger, it still exists till today. Some people use, in schools, they use software such as Yammer. It's a social media, but it's only for Microsoft related services. Even your school, I have tried using Yammer. It's if you guys have Office 365 accounts, basically your ABS account or Office 365 accounts, and you can log into Yammer through the school, and you can even download the app and communicate with each other. However, that's just one thing, okay? So other companies, they even gamify onboarding. This is the new thing that the more you use a certain system, the more rewards you can claim, and it could be good for new hires' contribution. They say, "Oh, I'm, a level above now." Anyways, moving again to the next slide. Now, for our second example, I'm going to use the company Toyota, and it's a four-step process in how they onboard and I would say introduce their employees to company's policies, safety regulations, engagement, and all those things. It's a great case study. I would be very impressed if you guys would also research Toyota. And of course, being a Japanese company, there's interesting things about many Japanese companies, what they do in terms of engagement and introduction and all those wonderful things. Not only that, they also sometimes include exercising in the early morning when you come to work. And it's a totally different culture out there. But let's have a look. Okay, next slide. Now, employee engagement at Toyota, what happens, managers are given certain guides for creating the onboarding process. So in many firms today, nowadays, orientation goes well beyond providing just basic information about things like work hours or salaries. Onboarding at Toyota, it illustrates this. While it does cover routine topics such as company benefits, its main aim is to create an engagement with the new employees and also connect that engagement with the firm's ideology of quality, teamwork, personal development, open communication, as well as mutual respect. So the initial process takes around 4 days for this sort of orientation to get these people on board, which is very interesting that they would also teach you mutual respect, something we could really use as a guideline for doing reports and projects. I just wanted to state when people are delayed in handing in work, it is the fault of every other group member when they're delayed. It's not that the other person is lazy. You should create backups of yourself. And in order to create mutual respect, you should ask each other, what are your commitments for the next week? And if their commitment is not very heavy, how much time can they devote? What happens is you guys simply stick together for just, let's say, if there are 4 questions in a case study or an assignment, you divide them with each other and said, submit it to us. No, you should never work like that. The whole point of mutual respect is first asking who can take on what and how they can help each other. And I would always recommend doing all the 4 questions sitting down together in one go, not everyone going in their separate ways. Okay? Anyways, that's just me. Moving ahead. Here's a typical onboarding day at Toyota. There are 4 days with first the welcome message, then a talk about mutual respect, then about teamwork, and of course, any other suggestions for the system. So day one, the first day begins early and includes an overview of the program, welcome message by the company's, I would say maybe MD or country manager. Then there's a discussion of the firm's structure and also the human resource department. Their VP comes out and talks about it. He or she then devotes around an hour and a half to discussing Toyota's history and culture, and around about 2 hours to discuss employee benefits and reward systems. After that, your respective department manager will spend several hours discussing commitment to quality and teamwork, which is the main goal and objective of Toyota. It's like your value system altogether. And at day two, typically this day focuses on the importance of mutual respect. So it's a more of a team building exercises are done these days, and also about open communication at Toyota. The rest of the day covers topics such as, I would say, safety, environmental affairs, and the production system at Toyota, which is, of course, the whole point of being at Toyota. At day three, given the importance of working in teams at Toyota, this day begins with 2.5 to 3 hours devoted to communication training, such as making requests and giving feedback. The rest of the day covers matters such as Toyota problem-solving methods, quality assurance, hazard communication, hazard as in HAZARD, communication, or as they say in French, hazard. And of course, safety. Number one rule at Toyota is always safety. Once this is done, the last day, day number 4, this day is usually done for communicating, I would say, teamwork training and Toyota suggestion systems. This session also covers what work teams are responsible for and how to work together as a team. Okay, it's not just about team building, but how to be more cohesive and collude properly. The afternoon session covers things such as fire prevention, how to extinguish a fire, and by the end of the day, all new employees should be well on their way to being engaged in Toyota's ideology, in particular its mission of quality and its values of teamwork, continuous improvement, as well as problem solving. And then the bottom line here is that there's more to orienting employees than just introducing them to new coworkers. Even without a program like Toyota's, use this sort of opportunity to onboard your employees and to instill in them company values and traditions, as well as some sort of expectations from the person. What do you want from them when you want them to be more engaged? All right, moving to the last slide. Okay, thank you for watching. We are done with this. I would highly recommend commenting that you watched the video for attendance reasons, because I will tell you once again that I'm not uploading the slides at all. Please like and subscribe so you can be informed further of any videos uploaded. And of course, I have not monetized my channel because I cannot. And it's just for you guys to watch. The assignment will be posted on Become, which requires you to pay attention to the whole video because I will be mentioning the assignment on the video. No slides, once again, will be uploaded. Take notes as you can. Thank you for watching. Wait for the next video to be uploaded as well. All the links will be provided in Become. Thank you very much.